we're talking about like the ask for the levy, okay? So the levy is what we're asking for dollars, right? Because there's a 6.48% increase, okay? That means for each of those categories that are the fixed accounts, that we're allowed, that we can ask for 6.48% increase.
Okay.
Okay, so we're only asking for what we can ask for.
Okay, why are you asking for that?
Right. Why are we asking?
Why are you asking for the increase, for the maximum allowable increase?
Right.
Why are you asking for that?
So you're suggesting we shouldn't ask for as much as we can ask.
I'm
for.
just
We should ask
asking
for
what
more.
it is for.
Right, so it goes into all the different fixed accounts, so that's the one that was in yellow here. So ed fund, operations and maintenance, transportation, working capital, and so it allows for us to operate our operating funds for our next school year.
Okay, so for general funds.
Yes.
Okay, for operating costs. Okay, that was the question. Why are you raising it up? So I know on.
And, you know, some big things that would impact that for the coming year, Casey, would be like utilities. Our utilities are much higher than in the past. You know, in terms of operation and maintenance, anytime we get anything repaired or get anything, work on the
I
buildings
understand.
or maintain the building, we're looking for increases there.
Okay.
In terms of salaries, really our salaries are fairly stable because for the most part, our salaries are under contract. And though they go up incrementally, they're going up probably much less than inflation and much less than our costs in other areas like, just like in utilities and maintenance and those kinds of
Okay.
things. And then in terms of, you know, we think about transportation fuels up much more than in the
Yes,
past.
yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
understand all that, but that was the thing of why.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
taxation without representation, well, we needed representation of what? If it was for the general fund for, obviously everything going up, okay,
Okay.
that's fine, but I didn't know that. Like I said, I never seen any of that stuff.
Sure, sure.
So,
No, good questions, good questions.
I just pulled up our tax bill just to get back to your point, and we're
Okay.
assessed at 216,000, and we paid Tri-Valley, now this is not our whole tax bill, 3667. So his numbers are pretty close. We're at
Okay.
216 and it was 3600.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It should say the tax rate. If you're looking at the McLean County
Yeah.
website assessors, it
It
should tell you what
says
the tax rate.
5.6118.
Yeah.
So that's actually higher than.
Yeah. So what? 5.6118.
Yeah, yeah, because I think Ben, it showed that tax, yeah, 5.61, so.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it's close.
Oh, other questions?
One more.
Yes, sure.
A couple of years ago when you did the referendum,
About 4 years ago.
4 years ago, okay, time flies when you're having fun. Instead of decreasing taxes, you spent the entire amount that the taxpayers would have saved if you had only like just fixed the high school. So taxes had a chance to go down. You put a referendum out there and the people fell for it. I can't believe 70% of the people fell for this. But you had a chance to lower taxes and you didn't. Why do you have to capture all of the EAV right now? Because if you didn't, taxes would go down. But you have the opportunity to capture it all, and so you're taking it all again. So this is becoming a pattern of Tri-Valley takes everything they can from the people. You realize Illinois has the highest tax rates in the country. And people leave Illinois, and your enrollment is not looking all that good in the elementary school. Have you noticed that it's down?
Yes.
That's going to eventually float into the middle school and into the high school unless there's a lot of development that brings in new kids around here. You're going to run out of kids. So I don't know what the plans are for the future, but right now it's not looking all that good. Do you have to take everything?
Well, I would say that right now, just like you're seeing in your home and in your home budgets, our costs have gone up dramatically in the last year when you look at.
Yeah, but I can't grab income.
It's how we are funded, right? And we have a budget
Yeah.
process of how we're funded.
Well, we have to cut expenses. What expenses are you guys cutting?
Yes, I would say we're watching our dollars too. But again, the big things that are driving increases in school funding right now, utilities, maintenance costs, and again, the weather's coming, it's not gonna do us any good in terms of utility costs. But those are just huge drivers, and you've seen inflation in your home and in your home budgets, those impact schools just the same way. So everything we do costs considerably more than it has in the past.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
cut back.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, and again, I wouldn't say we're spending money frivolously.
Well, we wouldn't know that because there's no transparency on your website. There's no reports, no documentation, no nothing. If you're cutting back, nobody knows.
I understand.
I would like to clarify, since you've said that a couple times about the transparency, is that I recognize, so you sent the email to the office, thank you for giving us the opportunity there. Recognized immediately that the way that the information was being presented on the website was requiring some kind of like, Google login, some kind of like request to get to the information. And that, we immediately changed that. So now we have everything on PDF, and we've changed that through your email. So we got that rectified there on Friday.
But it doesn't say anything. An agenda doesn't tell me anything. It tells me what you're going to discuss. It doesn't tell me what you discussed last month.
Okay.
There was no documentation with it.
Okay. So the
Put on the web,
minutes are-
put on the
minutes are-
website whatever the board gets.
Okay.
Whatever you hand out to them, give it to the people.
Other questions for the hearing? Oh, Casey, sorry, go ahead.
Similar to what she may have asked, was there any discussion taken of how the budget could be cut instead of asking for a higher EAV? Was there any discussion? Obviously, I know prices are going up, but was there a discussion of how we could save money and not raise taxes?
Well, I think every month, Casey, we scrutinize, especially what's the biggest drivers to cost of education is essentially staff's number one, and then it's your fixed costs of maintaining your buildings. So I think every month we talk to some extent about staff and staffing it. Is it sufficient? And we scrutinize before we hire another staff, or when we start talking about, do we need additional staff in the building, or we talk about, again, what's our student numbers? How are those coming today? How are those coming in the future before we either increase or replace staff as we go along? And again, staff's over 70% of our costs in the district. So we feel like we're at a good staffing level at this point in time. So I think we're constantly reviewing, is our current staff adequate, or do we have excess, and should we change that as we go? Did we look at, should we take and get rid of programs we have at the time? I would say no, we did not look at that. Do we scrutinize those programs every month and talk about things we're spending money on? And do we feel like the public is making positive comments about this? Yes, we do. I think we do. Other questions?